Welcome to the show. It's a girl Sarah right here on Relax Radio. You're tuned in the sunrise, and we're going to be having a very, very important and interesting conversation with regard to the vaccination status or the vaccination drive that is currently happening here in the United Kingdom. All right. And the reason I want to have this conversation, the reason I want to specifically talk about vaccines is because they actually announced yesterday that everyone under the age of it, not everyone, but rather 16 and 17-year-olds can actually get their first jab in the next few weeks, right? So obviously this is important news, which means that I need to make sure that you're aware and you're informed about it as much as possible. All right. So I'm here to actually answer all of the questions that you have with regard to getting the vaccine, with regard to what steps you need to take, what you need to really look into, and what you need to be afraid of if there's anything that you need to be afraid of. All right. And that's what I'm here for as well. So make sure you stay tuned because, like I said, I'm here to make sure I clarify all of those doubts, to make sure I give you the best and latest news and also the most accurate news, and make sure that you're updated about everything that happens, not just here in the UK, but in fact all over the world as well. All right. So make sure you stay tuned. Now you can get in touch with me on 078 If you have any questions, if you have any thoughts, if you have any opinions that you want to share with us, share with me actually, you can get in touch with me on that number. So don't forget to do that. Now, something else that you can obviously do is make sure that you are always listening to us on Relax Radio. And the best way for you to actually do that is to download our app, which is available on both the Apple App Store and the Google Play Store. All right. Now, when you download the app, you can actually make sure that you're always informed and you're always updated, and that you are always listening into the conversation from anywhere in the world. And honestly, it doesn't get any better than that. So don't forget to do that. Don't forget to download our app and stay updated and listen into the conversation live. And don't forget to share your opinions with us as well. But right now, let's actually head into a conversation about everything that you need to know about the jabs for under 18s. All right. Now, yesterday morning, they actually announced that these jabs would soon be available for children below 18. And then when they said that, obviously, there was a whole lot of questions that we all had, right? And it wasn't just you or me, it was, kids themselves that had these questions, right? So one question is that aren't children already getting the jab, right? And is it actually safe to be getting the jab, and what will it mean for everyone else when these children start getting the jab as well? Now, these are some of the questions that you have, but don't worry, because I'm here to answer all of it. I'm here to clarify all those doubts that you have as well with regard to the pandemic, with regard to the vaccination program and the vaccination drive. So until then, obviously, make sure you stay tuned. All right, now let's very quickly talk about these things. So what exactly are the latest changes that are there? Now, it's actually understood that the COVID-19 vaccine program is to be extended to include 16 and 17-year-olds. So if you were waiting so much for that vaccine, well, here's good news for you finally. If you are 16 and 17-year-old, if you belong to that age group, you can actually get the jab because they have decided to finally let 16 and 17-year-olds get the jab. All right. Now, this is in fact the first time that this jab will be routinely offered to children here in the United Kingdom. Right now, there are currently about 1.4 million people in this age bracket, right? And this is just 16 to 17-year-olds, right? Which means that then, in terms of vaccination, in terms of side effects and whatnot, we really need to, research much, much more, and then finally give the vaccine. All right, and the reason they're actually giving this vaccine is because it has been recommended by health experts, and they've said, look, ultimately, even though younger children do have a lesser risk of getting COVID-19, it doesn't necessarily mean that they shouldn't get the vaccine, right? Get the vaccine because the vaccine is going to save your life. It's going to give you more immunity. It's going to make sure that you have a stronger fighting system and a stronger chance of fighting if you get the vaccine. So obviously, that's what they're planning to do. So that's why all of these experts have said, look, if you can get the vaccine, go get the vaccine. And now they're extending this to include 16 and 17-year-olds olds as well. All right. Now, there are actually 1.4 million children, like I said, in this age bracket. And then we have this question. Now, currently, what kids are getting the vaccine? What children are currently getting the vaccine? Now, across the nation, 223,735 under 18s have, in fact, received a first dose, and almost 80,000 of them have had a second dose. And this was according to NHS data that was updated on the 25th of July. So at present, the number of under 18s are eligible for the jab, and that is if they have certain, specific health conditions, like they live with someone who is immunocompromised or they're approaching their 18th birthday. So these are some of these exceptions of kids who currently have their jab. All right. Now make sure you stay tuned, because right now we're going to head into a small break, and after that we will be back to keep talking more about this. But until then, obviously, make sure you stay tuned. Welcome back to the show. It's a girl Sarah right here on Relax Radio. And I'm very, very excited to be here, because obviously we're having a very, very important conversation with regard to, vaccination, with regard to everything that is currently going on. All right. And the reason we're having this conversation, obviously, is because right now we actually want to make sure that a lot of people are, in fact, much, much safer than they already are with regard to with regard to coronavirus. Right now, we in terms of our vaccination drive, we've actually vaccinated most of the adult population. Right, we're working towards vaccinating the population between 18 to 30 years old, if I'm not mistaken. And the reason that we are, the reason we're trying to sort of trying to vaccinate the population between 18 to 30 years old is simply because there is, in fact, a little bit of vaccine hesitancy with regard to the younger population. Right, and if you don't know why that is, well, don't worry, because I'm here to actually make sure that I explain it to you and I help you understand why exactly this exists. All right, so make sure you stay tuned. Make sure you stay tuned to Relax Radio, so I can make sure that you're updated and you're informed about everything that happens, not just here in the United Kingdom, but in fact all of the entire world as well. So don't forget to do that. Now, I want to very quickly remind you that you can be a part of the show. All you need to do is just text me on 078 to get in touch with me, to share your thoughts and your opinions with me, because I would love to hear whatever it is that you are saying. All right. Don't forget to do that. Don't forget to share your thoughts and opinions with me. Text me on 078 You don't even have to text me. You can even call me if you want. All right. Because I would love to hear from you. I would absolutely love to hear your opinions on this, so don't forget to do that. All right, now something else you can actually do is just text me, or rather follow us on our socials. You can like us on Facebook and follow us on Instagram, Twitter, and TikTok, because we use those apps a lot. All right, so don't forget to do that. Now, in addition to that, something else that you can do is to make sure that you download our app, which is available on both the Apple App Store and the Google Play Store. All right, now the app is available to everyone, which means you can use it on either your iOS device or your Android device, and make sure that you're always informed and updated about everything that happens all over the world, from science to health to technology. Whatever it is that you want to be updated about, you can find out about all of it through our app. So don't forget to get that app, because that will help you to have more news, to help you have more opinions and ideas with regard to whatever it is that we are talking. All right, now let's actually get back to answer all of these questions that you're having. Basically, questions with regard to everything that you need to know with regard to the vaccination process for those under the age of 18, which is essentially 16 and 17-year-olds. All right, now at present, a number of 18, under 18s, like I said, were being given the vaccine, and this is because they were living with someone who was immunocompromised, or they were approaching their 18th birthday. But now a very obvious and very common question that a lot of parents have is, are jobs for 16-year-olds safe? Is it safe, right? And the answer to that is yes, right? The Medicines and the Healthcare Products Regulatory Agency, which is also known as MHRA, has approved the Pfizer BioNTech COVID-19 vaccine for children aged 12 and over. All right, which means if you're above the age of 12, this vaccine is perfectly safe, right? And this is the Pfizer vaccine, which is considered one of the most effective and strong and good vaccines out there. All right, now the medicine regulator will actually only approve a medicine for use when it has seen evidence on its safety and efficacy, right? And this means that obviously they've seen how effective and safe it is, but they'll also obviously still be conducting some more research before it's finally given to children that are aged 12, to children that are aged 12 and over. And currently that is just 16 and 17 year olds, right? Now, what you need to keep in mind is this jab is actually being widely used in children in other countries around the world. Maybe not here in the UK, but in other countries around the world, this is in fact happening. All right. Now, Dr. Chris Smith actually said that it was a mistake not to go even younger with our offer on the vaccine, because he explained that if more people are vaccinated, it means that more people have a higher rate of immunity, which means then that you can actually make sure that the rate of infection slows down, that you don't pass on the infection as fast as you would if you weren't vaccinated. So essentially, getting the vaccine is definitely going to help you slow down the rate of infection, is going to help you slow down the rate in which it passes, and also make sure that you have added immunity and added protection. All right, which is something that everyone wants in the middle of this pandemic. All right, and he said this move might actually help to protect the education of young people. And the reason I'm saying this is that for the it's almost been almost 2 years, right? I mean, in a few months it'll be 2 years, but it means that schools have been shut down ever since the pandemic began, right? So during that time period, a lot of children haven't been able to go to school, which means that they've essentially lost their access to education. And I'm not saying not necessarily access to education, but rather they haven't been able to get that whole experience of coming to school and starting understanding and enjoying school life, right? And so to protect the education of younger people, it actually makes a lot of sense if everyone gets vaccinated, right? And that is obviously one of the biggest worries that are there. So where exactly can children get vaccinated if that's the case? Now, probably at the vaccine clinics which are up and running, such as the general physician surgeries and pharmacies, right? Now, these are pretty much the same places that other vaccinations happened as well. Pop-up vaccine clinics fireworks have been appearing at popular spots for young people, including, the Halifax Carnival, or that was there, and these pop-up clinics also happened in Thorpe Park and the Latitude Festival. So in theory, that thing would also continue, which would actually encourage more and more people to go and get the vaccine. Because come on, who wouldn't go get the vaccine if it was at somewhere like a carnival or circus, right? Which is absolutely amazing. Now, then when it comes to that, we have this question about, will children actually need parental consent to go get vaccinated? Now, possibly, all right, again, maybe not, because in some vaccine clinics they have actually started giving jabs to 16-year-olds, provided that they attend the appointment with a parent or guardian, right? And other countries are offering vaccines to children, actually require them to get parental consent. Okay, now this will actually be figured out or set out when ministers make a decision on the extension of the program. However, what they need to understand and what they need to keep in mind is that obviously, is that ultimately it is up to the decision of the children, right? I mean, ultimately this is a move to protect all of them. So make sure you keep that in mind, because right now we're going to head into a small break, and after that we will be back to keep talking more about this. So until then, make sure you stay tuned.
The valuations that you place on an asset are always behind you. It's always in hindsight. It's never in front of you. And that's one of the challenges, right? Because you're always valuing what happened yesterday, and what you need is what's going to happen tomorrow. What am I saving or investing for? Why am I doing it? When will I need the money? And how much money do I